Here's something I thought was interesting and figured I'd share it with you guys. This is an article by IGN, and it's called Bad Footage Funny Meme, the new trend for recording concerts on 3DS. I like the 3DS. I think it's kind of fun and interesting and also very gimmicky. Now, one of the gimmicks on there is you can record footage, and it can be in 3D. It's not really made for recording concerts, so it's kind of being memed on here. So let's see what this article says about it. We understand if you're not ready to head back out into the world, but you might be missing out on a strange trend at the gigs of your favorite artists. It's becoming more and more likely that someone, right up front, will capture a moment on their Nintendo 3DS. It's not clear who started the trend, but it is a trend. 3DS filming is now almost certain at gigs by extremely online artists like 100 gecs and Porter Robinson. I don't know who those guys are, but cool. So they got a tweet here. Okay, who's recording the Minneapolis 100 gecs concert on their 3DS? 11.7K likes. Funny meme. So it goes on to talk about, is the footage any good? Absolutely not. The minimum resolution of the 3DS camera is 640 by 480 pixels. So that is standard definition, basically. The audio isn't any better. The microphone totally incapable of withstanding any level of amplified bass. It's probably one of the worst tools to use if you want to revisit the experience of seeing the performer again in any decent fidelity. So yeah, if you record on this thing, it's gonna sound like ass, right? It's gonna just sound like a big fuzzed out, greasy nothing burger of a sound. It's gonna be glitchy sounding, and that's cool in its own way, but it's definitely not how the artist intends to be sounding. And it might look cool. I haven't actually seen any of these captures if they're being done in actual 3D. Because one of the things I liked about the 3DS was you could take a picture and do it in 3D and kind of look back at it and say, oh, that's cool, it looks 3D. And I suppose you can maybe tell if you put it on a 3D television. I'm not even sure if it takes 3D video now that I think about it. The trend began to really take off recently, with the likely cause being this viral tweet documenting pictures being taken on an original DS during a London show by South Korean boy band ATEEZ. So shout out to whoever was recording Porter Robinson on a 3DS tonight. And again, you got the concert going on in the back. Make that bigger. Yeah, 3DS here. It's been happening at our shows for a while now, but definitely seeing it more and more. Honestly, it was always way more hype footage than like the iPhone 15 front row super stable full set in 4K HD footage. Love 20 seconds of bass boosted, deep fried, totally shredded DS audio. See, like I was saying, the audio gets wrecked. And like this guy says that too. It gets wrecked. It always takes us a second to figure out what song of ours it is. But it sounds and looks good. So like they're a fan of this. And why wouldn't you be? Anybody who can post a viral meme of your band, no matter what it is, it's going to be promotion. You just got to know how to use that promotion, basically. It's become such a favorite fixture at gigs that the band has possibly plans to run with the trend. No one steal our idea, but we're thinking of putting out a live on 3DS album. And then maybe press it to vinyl. See, that's pretty funny too. So here's high quality 3D footage from tonight's concert. And you can hear it just sounds like total ass while the band's playing. Because it's just glitched out beyond the microphone's possibility. And basically it goes on to say, well, it's a meme and everybody likes it. Everyone knows you're going to get a low fidelity capture. But that stands out amongst the other people in the crowd who's recording the show on their phones, which is going to be way more high fidelity, way more high quality. You know, these phone makers know that people are going to be capturing concert footage, which is really loud. So the microphone has a built-in attenuator to attenuate to that sound. The 3DS never was designed for this at all. The camera feature was kind of an afterthought, you know, or to be put in games, that kind of thing. And they go on to say, oh, it helps that the screen design of the 3DS is so unique and ubiquitous that anyone who sees it immediately knows what it is. So it's like, it's kind of a cool little kitsch thing to hold up a 3DS and everybody knows, oh, look, there's a person holding up a 3DS. That's interesting and different than the 4,000 iPhones in the audience. Still feels like a totally normal thing to do when seeing the notoriously eclectic 100 gecs. Reminds me of Gex, the gecko, right? Does it have the same tone when you do it at Michael Bublé? So again, does it glitch out? Maybe. And then they talk about it's threatening to be uncool by documenting it. And that's just how music works in general, is the more something becomes mainstream, the less cool it is. Like a cool hump factor that happens. And once you get above that cool hump, it just goes downhill and becomes crap again. I mean, you can re-meme things. It's like telling a joke too many times, it gets boring, but then you can go overboard on how many times you tell the joke and it gets funny again. I thought this was some interesting gaming thing we could cover on this channel that not many people are doing. And our channel is about gaming and music and just weird things that happen in gaming. What do you think of this? Have you ever recorded a concert on DS? What's the weirdest thing you've recorded on DS? I mean, maybe you recorded some porn or something. I don't know. But it'd be interesting to hear what you guys have. If you like this video, give it a like. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. And until next time, have a good one.